So I feel like I haven't had a chance to talk about some of these new PvP talents, but I swear they're completely game changing. So we just got some updates for the new PTR. Some of the new PvP talents they added are some of the best PvP talents. I know I feel like I'm always saying this, but I genuinely feel like these 10-1 PvP talents are really like a step in the right direction for some awesome play. That's how I feel. So we're going to go over them really quick. I'm going to read them all out to you, and I'll give you my thoughts on them all. Okay? PP vendor located in Stormwind and Orgrimmar has been updated to sell Season 2 gear. So we can actually test out Season 2 gear and kind of see where our secondary stats are going to be going, which is good. So I might actually do that. I might play some on the PTR. Now, Death Knight. Spell warding has been removed and been redesigned. So first of all, I just want to comment on this. Before we read out the new one, Spell warding was that really, really annoying talent that was just a passive defense for DKs, okay? They said passive magic defense and it casually reduced your cast speed. So that is gonzo. What they got instead was an updated spell warding where it reduced the cooldown on their anti-magic shell by 10 seconds and reduces, but it also reduces its duration by 50%. So it's a shorter cooldown, but its duration is reduced by 50%. And on top of that, anti-magic shell is now usable on allies, which I think is a really cool utility. I think that's an awesome PvP talent and allows a Death Knight to kind of feel almost like a rep pally in a way where you can add that kind of extra defense to your team, which I think is really, really cool. They also got something DKs have been wanting forever, which is a new PvP talent to reduce physical damage. So Bloodforged Armor, Death Strike reduces physical damage taken by 20%. I think both of these talents for Death Knight are a 10 out of 10, a fucking insane winner. I love them. I absolutely love them. Now, for Unholy, they actually redid the zombies. So there was an old zombie build for DK, which was really annoying to deal with. And this might be annoying to deal with too, but it sounds kind of interesting. Reanimation has been redesigned. So you reanimate a corpse, summoning a zombie for 20 seconds. That slowly moves towards your target. If the zombie reaches its target, it explodes after 3 seconds. The explosion stuns all enemies within 8 yards for 3 seconds and deals 20% of their health in shadow damage. So that's actually a considerable amount of damage. Also, the zombie summoned by reanimation is no longer targeted or killed. So it sounds like once it hits the target, it explodes after 3 seconds. So that might mean that when it gets to you, you can kite away from it, which means you might have to like combo it as a DK. Like summon a zombie, because it has charges. Reanimation now costs 30 runic power and 1 ruin and has a 12-second cooldown with 2 charges. So you might have to use a charge, let them waddle in and then stun them and blow it up on them, which could make for some interesting gameplay and some cool combos that you can do. Druid, Dying Stars has been redesigned. Now causes the target who removes Moonfire or Sunfires to be vulnerable to Moonfire and Sunfire for 15 seconds. If already vulnerable, they gain half the remaining duration of the removed effect. I don't really know what that means. Now causes the target who remove Moonfire or Sunfire to be vulnerable to Moonfire and Sunfire for 15 seconds. If already vulnerable, they gain half the remaining duration on the removed effect. So I guess I don't know what that vulnerability means. Like Moonfire and Sunfire maybe pumps them harder if they dispel it, which would be kind of interesting. Feral. Leader of the pack now increases movement speed by 10%, was crit strike. So they removed the 5% crit that Feral has for move speed, which I think is a nerf. Sounds way worse, to be honest. But this one is really cool. So, new PvP talent, Wild Attunement. After a successful Cyclone cast, you are automatically shifted into cat form, and your next Ferocious Bite, Rip, or Maim within 5 seconds also casts Feral Frenzy. So now you're kind of rewarded. If you're that Feral Druid and you actually get a Cyclone, there's a rewarding feeling where you can like kind of burst with it, which I think is really cool. So it actually gives like an incentive for Ferals to go for CC, and when they land it, they get like an extra kind of like hit. For Evokers, the new PP talent Dreamcatcher Sleepwalk no longer has a cooldown, but its cast time is increased by 0.5 seconds. So a bit of an increase on cast time for Sleepwalk, but it no longer has a cooldown. So everyone in the arena is going to be resident sleeping against Evokers. They're going to be able to spam CC, which is kind of crazy, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential there to get out a lot of crowd control on the Evoker. I don't know how bad the increased cast time is going to be. Maybe it's going to incentivize, Evokers to play a little bit more haste over the mastery. I'm not sure, but yep. So this is the fucking best talent ever. As a mage player, I'm so excited because first of all, with 10-1, remember polymorph duration is going from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. So it's getting nerfed. But this is like, I personally feel like polymorph has been outdated for a long time. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that it just breaks on damage, removes debuffs, heals people to full, like, I just feel like it's outdated. So the fact now that we get a PvP talent that actually makes it usable, or better at least, is really nice. So new PvP talent, Master Shepherd. While an enemy player is affected by your polymorph or mass polymorph, your movement speed is increased by 25%, and your versatility is increased by 6%. Additionally, polymorph and mass polymorph no longer heal enemies. I think this talent is going to make mass polymorph fucking insane. Like, imagine their entire team is just getting cleaved down at like 30% health, and you blink in, you triple DB into triple mass poly. Triple DB, triple mass poly, everyone's just sitting there polymorphed at like 30% health, and then you just line up on somebody and one tap them. Kind of crazy. In addition to that, they have a new talent, Ethereal Blink. Blink and Shimmer apply slow. It still removes dots, yeah, but it's fine. Blink and Shimmer apply slow at 100% effectiveness to all enemies you blink through. For each enemy you blink through, the cooldown of Shimmer are reduced by 1 second up to 5 seconds. I think this is going to be really, really insane against some stuff. I think it's going to give us a lot of kind of flexibility in our talents. I don't even know what talents you're going to run now. You're going to... Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. These are some pretty strong mage talents. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, so if you blink through a whole Warlock Zoo, you reduce the cooldown by 5 seconds. Keep in mind, Shimmer has a 23-second recharge. So it takes it from 23 seconds to 18 seconds. I mean, it's good, but it's not like, oh my god, they're going to be blinking the whole game. Like, it's not like that, you know? Monk, Brewmaster, Incendiary Death has been removed, but they change Hot Shrub. It has an additional effect and also makes your next Fire Breath incapacitate targets after purifying 100% of your max health. So I think that's a good... That's a good compromise. Before, Incendiary Breath was really toxic. You're spamming Fire Breath and AoE, disorienting the entire team. Now, your Fire Breath is going to disorient, and you get to pick up Hot Shrub, which I think is actually like a throughput talent. So, get a little bit of extra damage, and then you're rewarded if you get a big Purify. It's pretty cool. A new Holy Paladin talent, Bedazzle. For Holy Paladins, new PvP talent, Bedazzle. Call upon the light to blind your enemies in a yard 20 cone, in a 20-yard cone, causing enemies to miss their spells and attacks for 3 seconds, 1.5 second cast time, 90-second cooldown. So this talent, I think, is really cool, but I think it needs no cast time. I think it needs to be instant. And I think instant, I think it'll provide like some really interesting, fun utility. Like, I think it'll be a really interesting spell. It needs no cast time, 100% though. There's actually an ability that's taken from Joanna in Heroes of the Storm. It's 1 second with haste. I don't care. I actually still think it should be instant for a 90-second cooldown. Yeah, it's exactly. It's like shield glare. Or it should be uninterruptible. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be able to kick it. Maybe that's fine. Something like that. All right, Priest, phase shift now lasts 1 second, was 0.5 seconds. I feel like that's crazy, but... I don't know. I guess maybe in playtesting it didn't feel good at 0.5 seconds. It was too hard to like time things. I could see that. Like at 0.5 seconds is a very small margin for error. So phase shift is the talent where basically when you use fade, you're immune to everything. So now you have that immunity thing once again. Yeah, QE. Shaman, Swelling Waves PvP talent has been removed. Spectral Recovery has been removed. Enhancement, new PvP talent Storm Weaver. Consuming Maelstrom weapon on a damage spell cause your next healing surge or chain lightning to gain the full benefit of Maelstrom weapon based on the stacks consumed. The healing bonus from improved Maelstrom weapon is reduced by 75% in PvP. The healing bonus from Raging Maelstrom is now reduced by 60%. So I don't understand exactly what this means. What did they do? What is that? Because I don't play Enhancement Shaman. Is that good for Enhance or is that a nerf? Like what did this do? They buffed Enhance Burst, but you have less instant healing. Means you get a free instant heal after instant elemental blast, but it will do less healing. Okay, I feel like that's fair. I think it's a fair trade-off. I don't know. I think that's kind of what Enhancement Shaman's need, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, at least from like the Death Knight talents, the Paladin talent, if they change it, I just feel like I'm so happy with some of the PvP talents that are coming out, especially from Mage. I genuinely hope that a lot of other specs get some new talents, and I think they will too. Like it seems like they want to like get rid of a bunch of dead PvP talents. Like for Mage, we're losing Netherwind armor and prismatic cloak, and we're getting like some really interesting options, which I'm super excited about. And I hope that it's the same for everyone else, like genuinely. I hope like, you know, Evokers get some talents they really like. I hope that, you know, Ret Paladins get some talents they really like. Just everybody gets some cool stuff. And I do think this Holy Paladin talent's really cool. I just think they need to remove the cast time or make it so you can't be interrupted while you use it or something like that. What do you guys think about these new talents? Are they good? Are they bad? Excited? Are you not excited? How do you think 10-1's gonna go? I think it's gonna be sick, personally. I'm excited.